Inside this Oregon City warehouse, massive shipping containers are being transformed. Walls removed, containers welded together, and slowly but surely, they're made into homes. Portland developer Carl Kaufman and his company Relevant Buildings started making the shipping container homes a little more than a year ago.
Looking for a different solution for affordability brought me to looking at containers. There's over 5 million containers a year that come to the United States that don't leave.
So Kaufman started buying some of them. His first 2 container homes are now show homes along the Willamette River in Canby, each one built out of 2 40-foot-long shipping containers.
They're all Energy Trust compliant, super insulated, air conditioning, heat. The best we can make for a climate-changing world.
Much of what you see inside is either recycled, like the wood used for this table and bench, upcycled, or energy efficient. Kaufman's mission is to build not only smaller, more earth-friendly homes, but also more affordable ones.
We've got a new one coming out that we call The First Step. That will be, the people that want to get that vet off the street. We think we have a solution for it that's probably cheaper than anything else out there and more durable.
Kaufman says the price of the First Step home will likely be around $70,000. But if condominium-style living is more your thing, how about a shipping container condo? That is exactly what Kaufman and his company are building right now. This is it, a 2-story, 8-unit complex made entirely out of, you guessed it, shipping containers. When complete, this is what the complex will look like. Kaufman even plans to install solar panels on it to make it net zero. In other words, it would produce all the energy its residents need. Once constructed, the shipping container complex will be moved to a permanent location in St. Helens.
When we talk to the state, we know there's nobody doing this in Oregon.
And with so many shipping containers out there, Kaufman expects many more like it to come. In Oregon City, Keely Chalmers, KGW News.